Good morning and welcome to Valley Views. I'm your host, Glenn Edison, and we're certainly glad to have you today. And as always, you can see our programs on BTC Fiber's YouTube page as well as BTC Fiber's Channel 18. And today we have with us Bill Harmon. Bill, it's good to have you with us.
Good to be here.
He's a former, jack of all trades. You've been a little bit of everything, haven't you, Bill?
Pretty much.
From county executive, state representative, SETHR director, worked at up at the hospital at the ER, and no telling what all else. But it's good to have you. And I want to first start out with, because when I first got to know you, when I first moved up here, you were county executive. And how long were you county executive?
12 years.
That's what I was thinking, it's 12 years. And you had a pretty storied career with a county executive, didn't you?
Well, yeah, I guess. We had a real good county commission, and I think accomplished a lot of things in that 12 years. Working together, I didn't do anything, we did it together.
Well, that was a time, that was many years ago, and so it was a time when we didn't have the Walmarts, and we didn't have everything that we have now.
Yeah.
And so we had to work with less. And
budgets were a lot tighter.
Yes.
That was got elected in '86 and served till '98.
So you had a lot less to work with, but you did work with what you had.
That's exactly right.
I mean, you wanted some of the things we had today, you just couldn't get there.
Just couldn't get there.
And of course, as a county executive, you're only one person. You can only suggest. The commission has to vote on it. So it doesn't really matter sometimes what you want or what you like. It's what they decide.
What they decide, that's correct. But we had 19 county commissioners at the time, and they were good folks, and we worked together and accomplished several things.
That takes a lot of work, just working together.
Absolutely.
To achieve more. And so that's a good. And I know as a county executive, you had a part in developing and getting started the chamber.
Yeah, we started the chamber in '95, I think. And it's been an asset to the community. But some of our biggest accomplishments, I think, is, the hospital closed and we opened the ER. And didn't cost the county a penny, which was an accomplishment. The first freestanding ER licensed in the state of Tennessee.
Oh, I remember that.
Yep. Which was had a lot of help. The county commission was agreeable to trying it, and Representative Brian Hart helped us get the certificate of need. And it was the first one. It's my understanding now there's a bunch of them, but it's been an asset to the community.
Well, maybe you were one of the first to give the example to everybody else.
Well, the county was, because we were the first. So.
And that was a time of need, because without the hospital, you had to, first you had to wait on an ambulance to come pick you up if you had anything serious, and then you had to travel over the mountain. And so it could be, 40, 50 minutes before you could actually get to the hospital.
That's correct.
And with this, it was just a matter of minutes, depending on where you lived, of course.
Sure.
But it's been an asset to the community.
Still is.
Yes, it still is. Well, you mentioned, of course, that it's important to get the chamber started, because it's been an asset to this community, because a lot of times without the chamber, I guess they would call the county executive's office to find out, real estate or whatever they were at, businesses or whatever they're looking for. But now with the chamber is a mouth to the community.
Sure.
And so they call here and find out what they need. So it's been an asset in that way. And of course, they don't only just do things like that, but they do other things for the community, the chamber.
Absolutely.
And I know you've been they've been a part of helping with getting cleanups done throughout the county and just different things.
Yeah.
And they promote the county. Now, after you left the county executive, you said that was in 90 what?
98.
98. You, of course, you went on to be a state representative, and that was how many years?
10.
10?
Yeah.
And those were every 2 years, right? You had to be reelected
Yes,
every 2 years?
every 2 years.
And
I served Sequatchie, Marion, Grundy, and Van Buren counties in the legislature.
And that's a little different than being a county executive, because now you got to answer to more than just Sequatchie County.
Yeah, yeah. Whole bunch of people.
Yeah, but I know with your history, you're the kind of person that when you meet people, they're your friend right off the bat. You know, and you've always done that. And
well, I try to. I try to. A lot of them might not like me, but I don't have a thing in the world against them.
Well, you've done a good job, and you helped not only the county but the state. And of course, in your position with the state, you were able to actually help this area.
Yeah, we accomplished a few things for the whole area. Probably the biggest thing was when we were able to redo the Bledsoe County Prison and make sure that the state still owned it instead of contracting to private enterprise for that, because that's an asset. There's people from Marion, Grundy, Sequatchie, Bledsoe, Van Buren, all working in that prison. And it's not a job I particularly want to do, but if you like that type of work, it's good benefits, steady, so it's a good thing.
Right, and I know I have some friends that work up there, so that, and they seem to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I'm like you, I don't know if I'd want to do that job, but
I don't know that I would, but there's people that do and people that don't, but they're still good steady jobs for the area.
Right, and that's the key about providing jobs to this area. That was a big role, because I know for a long time before, like Tecumseh and those plants, we didn't have a whole lot of businesses to.
Well, Danny Wallace was the mayor, and I was county executive when Tecumseh came, and the city and county worked great together, and we're fortunate enough to recruit them, and they employed 500 people for a long time. So it was a good thing.
Right, it sure was. I mean, because this area for a long time was job depleted. Everybody had to drive out of town to get for their jobs.
Yeah.
I mean, you had local business people, but they couldn't afford really to hire many people, in their local business.
Correct.
And so, things were limited. But now we're expanding and we're getting more companies in the area, and they're good paying jobs too.
Sure.
And you had a part in that.
Well, anybody, this day and age, anybody that wants to work can work.
Yes.
Everybody's hunting employees.
Yes, they are, and so they're everywhere, no matter what kind of job, whether it's fast food or plants or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, you were also beneficial in starting Sethra, right?
Well, no.
Getting it started in this area.
I didn't start Sethra. They started in '64. They were Progress for People Human Resource Agency at that time, and I started work for Sethra in 1974 as the first transportation director, and that's when they started the vans in '74. And I, along with Fiston Taylor, who was the aging planner for the development district, got a grant to start that transportation program.
And it's really developed into a large area.
Well, it covers all 10 counties now, and they have those in every county in the state of Tennessee has a program similar to that. But this was the first one started.
Oh, okay. And I know I see their vans every day just up and down the road.
Well, when I was going to Nashville, I'd see them in Nashville because they were taking people from Grundy and different places to the hospitals and Veterans Administration, Veterans Hospital in Nashville. You see them everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing for this community, Sether, because it provides for those who may not have a means of transportation. It gives them the opportunity, and with Sether, they go where you need to go, right?
Yes, yes. And anybody can ride it. It's public transportation. It's funded by the been a long time since I was involved in that, but the Federal Highway Administration, the Mass Transit Division funds it through the federal government, and the state matches it, and local governments match to some degree.
Well, that's good, and there's no charge to ride, right?
Yeah,
There is a charge?
Yeah. I think it's $1 a stop,
Oh, okay.
but I'm not totally sure. It's a token
Minimum.
amount. Yeah.
Nothing where it's going to cost you more than it costs you to get a drive.
No. No.
Well, like I said, that's good because we have a lot of people in this area that use it. You know, even if it's just to go buy groceries or go to a doctor's appointment, and they do drive outside of Dunlap in Sequatchie County, right?
Yeah. Very few times do I go to Chattanooga that I don't see one taking somebody to dialysis or the doctor's office or something, coming back and forth across the mountain.
Yeah, like I say, I'm like you. I've seen them everywhere.
Yep.
And that's a good thing. I mean, it's a good program that needs to be
Well,
kept.
there's a need for it, and as people get older in the community, and men die off, and the wives maybe can't drive or ain't able, and their doctors are in Chattanooga or on dialysis or something, it's a real asset to the whole region.
Right. I mean, like you say, it's a needed program.
Absolutely.
And in your history, when you look back to in Sequatchie County here, what were some of the things you liked the most, or you in your achievements? I know you said you worked as a group with the county commission, not just personally, not trying.
Yeah.
What were some of the things that got accomplished that you can remember, that some of the better things?
Well, the hospital sticks out as probably number one to me, because I've used it, my family's used it, and it's a needed service. But well, the chamber is another thing. When we remodeled the library,
Yeah.
is a good thing
Yeah,
to
that was
me.
really nice.
Well, when I was elected county executive, we were the only courthouse in the state of Tennessee that didn't have a bathroom in the courthouse.
Really?
So we, as a group, the commission, remodeled the courthouse and put the bathrooms inside the courthouse. And we started the outlying fire departments in that 12 years.
Yes, I remember that.
And the biggest things people on the mountains were asking for was water. And we established the utility district out on Cagle, Fredonia, and laid about 43 miles worth of water lines between the two mountains, and which helped growth out there, because
Yes,
got to have water.
right.
Back then, people were hauling water, which was a real problem.
Yeah.
So, those are some of the accomplishments. But
Well, I know with the when I first moved here, you just had the Dunlap Fire Department, as you mentioned, and if you had a house up on any of the mountains, by the time the fire department got there, it was just too late.
yeah,
They were just trying to keep it from spreading.
yeah, Yeah, they couldn't do much about it, but and we started the rural fire departments, and they're been very successful.
I know they've gone through. They each go through a lot of training, and their membership has thrived through the years. And people need to understand that that's local people,
Absolutely.
local citizens that are just volunteering their time. Getting out sometimes late at night or early in the morning to go take care of fire.
And plus, with the water lines that got put in, they were able to get water without running to somebody's pond to
Right.
pull water out of and go back to a fire.
Yeah.
I mean, it's and it saved homeowners and property owners money on their insurance.
Sure.
So that's some of the successes, I guess, of the commission.
It's a lot of little things, not well. They're all major. They were all major
Yeah.
for us, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of little things you add on, and like you said, the hospital is a good thing. Matter of fact, you were administrator at one time up here.
Yeah, after I left the county executive's office, I served I wasn't the administrator, I was director of marketing development for
Oh, okay.
them in Grandview Hospital for 4 years before I got elected to the legislature.
And I know you enjoyed that time.
I did.
And
I did. Of course, I've enjoyed everything, but what you miss the most is the people.
right.
You miss the people the most because used to there'd be something happening somewhere every day, and especially when I was in the legislature, to get to go and meet great people in Marion County, Grundy County, Van Buren, and it's met a lot of great people.
Well, I remember when I first my early years of teaching. I remember meeting Shelby Reinhardt, and Shelby was a really good man.
Yes, he was.
He got a lot accomplished for this area.
He sure did.
And I remember, like I say, meeting all those good people. You get to meet a lot of good people.
Absolutely.
And in this area, we have a lot of good people here.
Absolutely. This is the greatest place in Tennessee to live, in Dunlap, Tennessee. No doubt about it. I'm not being critical of anybody else. We're just that much better.
Well, not originally being from here, as I grew up here, and I say I'm not originally, I've been here now about 40 years, so I guess I'm from here now.
Yeah.
But, you have people that are just people that some people you don't even know, that if you needed something, you mentioned that you needed something, and they would be right there to help you. Say, hey, I've got this, I can help you with that.
It's a great giving community. You just look at the things that we do have, the cancer network. If somebody needs something, somebody's going to jump in and help. The rescue squad and the Lions Club, or what they do at Christmas,
Yes.
is just unreal for a small community. It's just a great place.
Well, and as you mentioned, the Lions Club and the rescue squad. I know when I first come here, the baskets they would give out at Christmas weren't that many. They gave out some, but they were not what they do today.
No, people are much more giving. But times are better and that people have more.
Right. And if you give, you receive. basically.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
that's why I think Dunlap has grown so much. You have so many giving people.
Yeah.
And they give of their time, their means, whatever they can, as you said, they're here to give. Well, with your career in many areas, like I say, you've met people, so you can compare. I guess, as you said earlier, you don't want to criticize areas, but when you compare Dunlap to maybe some even the bigger areas, bigger cities, metropolitan areas, how does that fare?
Well, I don't know. They're all growing by us and Chattanooga and everybody else, the whole state of Tennessee is just busting wide open. You just about can't get from Murfreesboro to Nashville anymore.
No.
But as far as comparison, I think Sequatchie County and Dunlap seem to be growing in the right way. Some of them, I think, just bust wide open before they really...
Before they're ready.
Before they're ready, yeah. So...
And that's one thing, talking about being ready. I've noticed over the years that Sequatchie County and Dunlap, they take their time, take one step at a time. They don't just say, let's do this, and then jump into it and then go, oh.
Yeah, have second thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They take it one step at a time, and that's always better because you can develop it as you grow.
But we've had good leadership, in my opinion, in both county and city offices. And a big thing is working together.
Mm-hmm.
It's not always that way. And in Marion County, for example, they've got 6 cities.
Yeah.
I think 6. Grundy County's got 6 or 7. And if the county tries to work with one particular city, then you got 5 mad at you or 6
Yeah.
mad at you. So, I mean,
Yeah.
we're kind of fortunate that we only have the one city, in my opinion. Other people might not think that, but I do.
Well, that has merit to it, because then you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket, but we get more centralized for the city, and then as the communities grow, you can grow accordingly with them.
But and we have one school system that helps. Marion County, a lot of good people, and I love them all. But South Pittsburgh hates Jasper, and Jasper hates South Pittsburgh, all because of football.
Yeah.
And that helps us by only having one, I personally think.
Well, and now that you mentioned the school system, you've seen it grow over the years.
Mm-hmm.
I know like you said, when you first went in as county executive, everything was on a tight budget, and as time progressed, and then more and more things come, we had better tax base, and it caused our schools to be able to grow because they were able to get grants and other things as well.
Absolutely.
And so they've grown, and their facilities have gotten so much better.
Well, and the state, when they passed the BEP program, helped the rural areas a bunch.
Right.
So, I mean, we've got a great school system, in my opinion. I mean, they don't do everything I like every time. Nobody does. But they're moving in the right directions all the time, in my opinion.
Right. And and they keep growing with the number of students. I mean, I know sometimes that, of course, with COVID, everything's been kind of back
Sure.
and forth. Some have homeschooled and whatever, but the system keeps growing, and more people keep moving into the area. So we're getting a more diverse population, I guess I should say. Some
Yeah.
people come in with new ideas maybe we haven't thought of about how to grow.
And some are good and some not so good.
Yeah.
That goes both ways.
Right. And like I say, I've met several people that have moved in, and they really like it here. Not only because it's less taxes, but where they live, they didn't have the friendly people atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have people offering to help. Because they sometimes they look at you like, "What are you trying to do?" When it's just being friendly.
Sure.
Because around here, everybody wants to help each other.
That's what a good neighbor is.
That's right. Even if he is that policeman that stops you every now and then.
Oh, yeah. I've been there.
Yeah, I have too. But, is there anything you'd like to add to what we've covered on some of your highlights of your career and everything? I know it's been a good one. You probably forgot more things than you remember.
Well, when you get my age, you start forgetting a whole lot. But like I say, I just I miss the people and fun that we had together. Even if we had arguments, we were still friends. And I think that's some missing in some communities today, that there's no compromise.
Right.
And when I was in the county executive's office and when I was in the legislature, I wouldn't have got anything accomplished if we didn't compromise
Right.
on practically every issue, because everybody doesn't like everybody's idea,
Right.
and they ain't supposed to. But somewhere there's a middle ground, and I think the state, Washington, is losing that,
Yes.
and it shows because they're not accomplishing anything.
Right.
So, but and like I say, I've had county commissioners cuss me downstairs like you wouldn't believe, and we'd work out a compromise, and then we'd go have a cup of coffee together after it's
Yeah.
over with.
Yeah.
But I think the country's missing that.
Sure. I tell people as I was growing up as a younger adult and as a child, I remember, you had Democrats, you had Republicans, and they each voiced their opinions, but then they would get together and say, okay, let's work out what's best.
That's exactly.
And then they'd
right.
go about their business, and
And-
they'd still be friends.
Yeah, oh yeah, and pass something that accomplished something to help the average American.
Yeah.
So, but we're losing some of that, I'm afraid.
Yes, we are.
So, but I don't guess, Glenn, I've got anything else to add. I appreciate the opportunity to be here, and some of your questions refresh my memories a little bit, but I'm ready for spring.
Yeah. Well, we had all 4 seasons this weekend.
Yeah, that's about right. That's about right. But get me back on the lake fishing again here if it'll warm up.
Yeah. Well, if there's nothing else, folks, again, you can see our program on BTC Fiber's YouTube page as well as BTC Fiber's Channel 18. And until next time, we'll see you then. Hey everybody, this is Glenn Edison from Valley Views. We appreciate you watching our shows, and we would like for you to like, share, and follow us on Facebook, as well as like and subscribe to our YouTube page.
Brought to you by Bledsoe Telephone Cooperative, your full-service telecommunications provider right here in the Sequatchie Valley.